I am literally a master procrastinator. I've been ready to film this video for like 4 hours. Just ain't done it. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today, as you can see with the title, we are testing Wet n Wild, which is an American brand, and we're gonna put it on my face. Now, full disclosure, I have already filmed this video and I just hated how it came out, didn't like it, so I decided to refilm it. Okay, well, it's been like another half an hour. My husband is talking to his mum quite loudly over Skype, so if you can kind of hear chatting, that's what it is. So we're gonna jump in and I'm gonna show you what I got, and then we're gonna put it on my face, of course. So I got 7 things from Wet n Wild from beautybay, and it cost me just over £35, but I also did pay like £2.99 for next day delivery. So I got a few things. I got the foundation that everyone raves about, all the American like YouTubers rave about, the Photo Focus foundation in soft ivory. I also got the matching concealer in, what shade is this? Light ivory. This is way too dark, like this is like my skin tone, but that's fine. I also got the Photo Focus pressed powder. I got the Colour Icon bronzer, which is massive. I got a small eyeshadow palette. The big ones that they had either didn't appeal to me or they were sold out, so I got this tiny little one, which I haven't used today because, like I said, I have filmed this video before and I just hated how it came out. And although I think the quality of these shadows is actually really, really good, like really, really impressive. Let me swatch a few, like really beautiful shades. There's just not enough shades in this palette for me to be excited about it, so I mean that's just my own issue. And then the last thing I got was the Mega Glow highlighter in Precious Petals, which is so beautiful. It is so stunning, but it is also way too dark for me, but that's fine. So let's jump into testing it. Fluff in the air. I have prepped my skin just with my normal, the ordinary moisturizer, and I'm going to go in with the foundation. Like I said, again, I have tested this all before, so this is not like a first impression, but I'm just going to like show you what the products are like and give you my opinions anyway. This does smell quite strongly of paint stripper. That might put some of you off. I don't mind it, to be honest. It kind of goes away after a while, so I'm gonna put like that much on, which is quite a few dunks. It's got one of those like spatula applicators, it's fine. I'm just gonna blend that out using my Morphe sponge. I think the coverage is pretty good. It's like a good medium coverage with one application. And this colour is really good for me actually. Like I said, this is soft ivory. So if you're really pale, they definitely have a shade that's pale. It's probably not pale enough for the palest of people. I'm not quite the palest of palest, but I am pale, and I'm gonna stop saying the word pale from now on. This foundation is both easy and hard to blend, which is really strange. It's like, it's quite a tacky formula, so I feel like when you press it on and then if you press over the same area, it kind of lifts that off. So you've got to just really do lots and lots of like quite quick tapping motions to really kind of blend it into the skin. I know I look a bit pale. Oh no, I know I look quite, what's another word for that? I can't think of another word. Sorry. It's definitely a pretty matte foundation as well. There's not a lot of shine from it. I mean, it's pretty nice, but yeah, it's definitely like, it's picking up off of my face onto my sponge where I've already put it, so I'm having to go over the same area quite a lot of times just to make sure that it's actually like looking nice on the skin and not picking up weird. That is one layer of the foundation on. Yeah, I'd say a good medium coverage. But I have to say, I don't like it, and I can't like really put my finger on exactly why. I think it's the hard to blend issue, and also I just don't think it looks that nice on my skin. Like, it doesn't look super complimentary on my skin. And usually I'm quite lucky with foundations, matte or dewy, they usually kind of look pretty good on my skin. And I don't know, there's just something about this that I just don't like, which is annoying because it's so super cheap. And I know a lot of other people do like it. But it feels very heavy, it feels quite tacky. It's just not my favourite foundation that I've ever tried. We're gonna go in with a concealer now. This is, like I said, the Photo Focus concealer in soft ivory, light ivory. And if I put this on, you'll see it's not really any lighter than the foundation. So it's fine for like blemishes and stuff, but a lot of us really like our concealers to brighten our under eyes, and this doesn't brighten my under eyes, but I will say it does a pretty good job on my dark circles and just kind of disguising them. I think this would be a nice like first concealer before putting on a brightening one underneath. I will say it does blend really easily over the foundation. It's not seeming to lift the foundation off. That's the difference with it under one eye and not under the other. So yeah, it's not really brightened, but it has kind of covered the dark circles. And I'm going to put just a pinch on my cheek as well, just to get completely rid of those old blemishes. So it's weird, like I feel like, you know, I do cake face makeup, I don't do natural makeup whatsoever. Like, but even I find this like feels really heavy on the skin. So if you're someone that doesn't like the feeling of makeup on your skin, you probably won't like this foundation. However, if you're someone with incredibly oily skin, I think it would probably work quite well for you, because it is very matte. Okay, so let's move on to powder. This foundation, like I said, is pretty tacky feeling. Even though it dries matte, like it does feel quite tacky to me. So I got the Photo Focus loose powder. Now, this is a strange one, because I've used this once and I am getting nothing off of this. Like, it has completely sealed over. A slight bit, but you see, if I need a spoolie, I'm gonna like powder it up, which is just wasting product. And then if I get a wee patch that doesn't have all the loose powder on it, like that's how pigmented it is. So before that, before I like spoolied it, it was like sealed over completely, and there was no way I could get any like pigment or powder off it. Even if it wasn't a pigmented powder, there was still no powder coming off. It's the weirdest thing. I've never had a pressed powder do that to me before. I'm gonna try and adjust my lighting a little bit, give me a second. Sorry, I'm really struggling with my lighting right now. I can't work out. It's my camera, not my lighting, but it's annoying. Anyway, this powder. So I have just powdered my face, by the way, and yeah, it's definitely oxidized the foundation, but that's actually quite good because I feel like now it matches me better. But I really actually quite like this powder. It reminds me of my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish powder, except that again, it's just completely sealed over, and I don't understand how I'm getting no pigment by like swatching in it. Like, bare minimum. It feels like it's made of plastic. That's what this feels like it's made of. Until I scrape it with a spoolie and actually get powder, it feels like I am like dipping my brush onto a plastic mound. Honestly, it's the weirdest thing. Like, I don't get it. So I think every time I want to use this, I'm just going to have to scrape it with a spoolie, which just seems like an awful load of work. Like, I'm really rubbing my brush in, so I'm like separating the bristles and like nothing's coming off unless I spoolie it. So good powder, but weird. I don't understand. I don't have a contour product, so I'm quickly going to throw on a contour and then we'll move into like the rest of the Wet n Wild products that I've got. So give me uno momento. My lighting is just killing me. It's so bright, like I look perfect in porcelain in this light, but that's not the reality. I'll do some close-ups so you can see what I mean. That was a bit much. On a scale of 1 to 10, I used like 11 of contour and way too much. So I've tried to like blend it away, but my nose looks crazy. It's just not my day for makeup. It seems every time, the 2 times I've sat down to film with Wet n Wild, my makeup's not gone well. We're gonna move on to the bronzer. This is the Colour Icon bronzer, and this is the only product that really blew me away on the first time I used it. It's got a slight sheen to it, which you know I love in a bronzer. And I need to warm up my skin so that I stop looking so much like a corpse right now. But this blends so beautifully. It adds the most gorgeous, really, really, really subtle sheen to the skin, whilst making it look like you're just naturally bronzed. Like, this is one of the nicest bronzers I've used, like discovered recently. Like, I could see myself repurchasing this over and over again. It is just so easy to blend and it's just the perfect colour. They had different shades. This is, sorry, Ticket to Brazil. I think this is one of the lighter ones. Because obviously I'm quite fair, there's a different word. So I can't really use a super dark bronzer. If you are deeper than me, there was other bronzer shades, and I think this is potentially one of the nicest bronzers I've ever used. I'd really recommend this, and it was like £3 or something. Like, it was super cheap. My nose just looks like I have a different person's nose because of the contour that I did on it. So like I said, I picked up a highlighter, Precious Petals, which is too dark. I'm going to put a little bit on with a fan brush, just to say I've used it, but it is too dark for me. But I will say the formula of this seems incredible, and I think I could probably use it as like a blush topper, but realistically it's too dark for me. But this has such a beautiful sheen, like look at that. So when they get more shades available on the site, I'm 100% gonna buy them. I'll put it on both cheeks and then I'll just go over it with a lighter one. But like, that is one of the most beautiful highlighters I've ever tried. It reminds me of like the gel-like formula of the ABH Amrezi one, but obviously way cheaper. Like, this was, I'm pretty sure, under a £5. So it's lovely, but it is just, yeah, it's way too dark for me. So beautiful. I really would recommend it. If you've got deeper skin tone than I do, really recommend picking this up because the formula is just stunning. But yeah, it's too dark, unfortunately. I'll throw on a blush and just finish off my makeup because I don't have anything else by Wet n Wild except a lip product. So I'll come back when I'm putting on my lip product, and then I'll kind of round up my thoughts on Wet n Wild, or what I've tried so far. Okay, so my last Wet n Wild product is the Liquid Catsuit Liquid Lipsticks. Now, I, again, have heard so many like American YouTubers rave about these, so I picked up the shade Nudie Patootie. like that name. It's a very, very grey toned nude. I'll use it anyway. I don't think it'll really go with this eye look, but I'll put it on anyway. I must say, really, really like this formula. This reminds me of the Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks, but more hydrating. I'll just clean it up with a lip liner and then I'll do some close-ups so you can see the skin and the product. So that is the shade of the liquid catsuit. It's definitely too cool tone for this eye look, but the formula is so nice. It's really, really hydrating. I really do like it, just not with this eye look. I'm going to show you my skin up close. See, now I'm struggling because actually I don't think the foundation looks that bad, and I'm not sure if it's because I've had it on a while now and like my oils in my skin and the heat of my skin's like making it look better. I actually think it is one of those foundations that looks better after you've had it on for a while, because even up close it didn't look that bad. I'm a little torn in the foundation, to be honest. I think I need to test it more to really get a grip of how I feel, and maybe I do need to try applying it with a brush. So let me just give you a rundown on what I think of all the products that I tried. So foundation for me, like I said, right now is a hit or miss. I can't tell you. I think it does look pretty good. Like, I think my makeup looks really good today, except my wacky contour. But it's okay, it's okay. I'll need to test it more, but if you're really tempted to try it, it's only £6 and it's not terrible, so there we go. The concealer, I do like it for covering like facial blemishes because it's not bright enough for under my eyes. It's really cheap though, so again, I would give it a go if you're tempted. I mean, you can get both of these for less than a tenner, so that's pretty good. The powder, I really like the powder, how it looks on my skin, but the fact that I can't like pick it up on my finger is so bizarre, and I have to use a spoolie every time I want to use it. So I'm gonna say it's a no from me, but I wish like that didn't happen. The eyeshadow palette, although I didn't use it today, I will say really, really good quality, and I want to pick up some of the, like more of them so I could do like a full look, but just 4 shades to me is not enough variation, especially when 3 of them are shimmers. So I need more matte transition shades, but the quality, really, really nice. I'll do just like a close-up swatch of each shade so you can see. That's a really, really nice colorway. This is in Petalette is the shade. The bronzer for me, absolute standout. Get it, get it, get it. Can't recommend it enough. The highlighter as well, if you've got a deeper skin tone than me, I really would recommend it because it's stunning. Just too dark for me. And then the liquid lipstick, really, really, really like the formula. Just not with this eye look in terms of color, but really, really lovely hydrating formula. Really like that. So for me, the kind of Wet n Wild launch on beautybay was very, very, very exciting. I mean, I bought it the morning it all released. Even when I had like, I couldn't spend money on makeup that day, but I just did. Like, I just had to have it. But it's a super inexpensive brand, meaning usually more often than not, there's a lot of good products in there, but a lot of bad products. So yeah, so there are things I definitely would recommend picking up if you're interested. That's my phone. But yeah, I need to, it's just not, I hoped for more, I'll be honest. I've not been like blown away by anything except the bronzer, and even that, I mean, it's just a bronzer, but my goodness, it's a nice one. That is my thoughts on the Wet n Wild launch. That's all I've got to say, really. Yeah, hits and misses, hits and misses. But again, very inexpensive. beautybay has the best shipping in the world, so if you're tempted, I definitely would say just pick some things up and try them. You're not wasting a lot of money if you don't like it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you find this interesting. I feel like I probably should have filmed this eye look because I really like how it came out. So if you want to see it, let me know down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope to see you in my next video. Bye.